some pretty thought-provoking questions online, and it kind of got us thinking as well.
Yes, and we thought we should record this and get your opinions while giving you our opinions about these questions.
So get your strap on. Strap yourselves in. We're going for a ride. That doesn't sound much better.
It doesn't. What's going on, you guys? My name is Cisco.
And Isaiah.
And today we're going to be answering questions posted by RGK Airsoft. Our boy, Random Guy Kev. Shout out. If you're not following him, make sure
you're following him.
Go follow him, subscribe, yada, yada. RGK, I'll be waiting for the check for the shout out. But yeah, if you don't follow him, he does post quite a few questions from time to time about the airsoft industry, about different things, about players, about guns manufacturing side, about the overall status quo or what is the current situation in airsoft. And his most recent strain of questions were very thought-provoking. So we thought, why not? Let's answer these and give some of your guys' opinions that replied to his questions. So, Isaiah, do you want to read?
Yeah, question
because
number...
I'm dyslexic.
I can't read! All right, so question number 1 is, what does innovation in airsoft look like to you? Now, I'll read off the first response that we got here. This is from a GG E-House, who says, solving a problem that needs solving, making a flawed system better, or making a new useful system. Not everything needs to be revolutionary, but tangible improvement in some way rather than just being different for the sake of being different is sorely needed. That's interesting, actually.
I really agree to that, honestly, because here's the thing. To innovate, you need to try. And to try, you need to innovate, or whatever the quote is, right? A lot of companies in airsoft want to create and release new products. And a lot of the time, there isn't a baseline for them to get started. Now, I say that because even though it's kind of like a catch-22 or hypocritical, because everybody and their mom makes an M4.
Right.
And they're all pretty much going off of the Tokyo Marui system, right?
And I think that's where I would disagree on this to an extent. I do agree that, yes, there are a lot of things that exist out there that do need improvement, but I don't necessarily think that coming out with something entirely different is a bad thing. This is, at least the way I interpreted the answer, it sort of seemed like, again, just kind of solidifies the statement that airsofters will punish any airsoft company for offering innovation. They'll punish anyone for coming out with something different because it's not following the standard TM system, which I hate to see. I think we're trying now maybe to drift away from that a little bit, but I mean, come on, like the TM version 2 gearbox, what can I say at this point that hasn't been said about it? How long it's been around? It's basically on life support at this point with how much electronics it has fixed to the gun. It's on life support. That's what it is.
I guess. I mean, the way that I took that answer was if there is a newer platform coming out, try to work out all of the kinks ahead of time.
That's true.
Which I do agree to, but to an extent, when a company or manufacturer has invested so much money into a project, when it hits the market initially, even if it has some flaws or like long-term issues that are found long-term, just overextended use and
just design flaws.
Exactly. Just something that you discover over time. Once it hits the market, the manufacturer has already put maybe a year or two into the development of it already.
If it's gas blow, like even more.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
So much more.
So I do agree to the statement, but at the same time, the flaws that come about in airsoft or in new airsoft models, like guns specifically, really helps invigorate the aftermarket support too.
That's true. That does open up a pretty big space for smaller companies to come out, or even other companies too, just to come up with support items for said products, right? Yep. But that kind of brings us to the next response. This comes from Comrade Cap One Sock. There are two I know it's very
only one sock.
One sock. Only
we
one.
know where the other sock is.
There are two kinds of innovation, in my opinion: perfecting what we've got and introducing something new. These can happen simultaneously, but of course the latter is more flashy and easy to market. I think we 100% need to continue improving GBBs. The last couple of years have yielded some heavy hitters and made them way more accessible. Yes, I love the accessibility point. Yes, gas blowbacks are becoming way more accessible. Obviously, the market has shifted over from the AAGs to now the gas blowbacks, so of course we're going to see companies shifting their focus, obviously, on R&D for GBBs. So yes, I do think at some point in time in our lifetime, we will see affordable GBBs. Make GBBs affordable again. Anyway, that's my endorsement campaign.
Again.
They were never affordable.
When was it ever?
It was never.
No, I agree to that. Yeah. Like the repairing or the perfecting a platform and coming out with new products. He comes out with two great points. And for the perfecting side, again, that comes down to the aftermarket, I think. Like, we have to give credit to all the manufacturers out there who are making upgraded parts. Now, with what Isaiah said, not only is the manufacturer side catching up for like gas blowbacks, but they're also catching up with AEGs as well. Before, like, let's say 2015, if you wanted a MOSFET, you needed to purchase it aftermarket. If you wanted some type of ETU, some type of programmability, it didn't come included in an airsoft gun. Yeah. Fast forward a few years, now
that's like the standard.
Yeah, now manufacturers like Classic Army, Lancer Tactical, and whoever the hell is coming out with airsoft guns with ETUs integrated that perform very well. And I have to give like those companies their credit because they offer a lot more programmability and usability and protection in the airsoft gun compared to what was available 10 years ago.
Now, even a lot of the guns that we first started off with, these things blow them completely out of the water. Mm-hmm. Completely out the water. But you did touch on a point that I just really quick want to cover. Like the latter is more flashy and easy to market. We do marketing, so we know it's a lot easier when it's like, oh, here's a brand new thing that you ain't ever seen before.
Oh, yes,
right?
Of course. That comes with, I think, anything that is a feasible product. Or even digitally, like video games and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we're always looking up for the updates. We're always looking for the newest thing. What's the coolest, flashiest, coolest thing that's out there?
Like, I imagine a trailer for, like, the new patch for some game being nowhere near as viewed as, like, hey, here's just a brand new game, right? That comes
out,
Of
course,
right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, those smaller changes that happen for a platform that's existed for a long time versus a brand new platform completely is always going to be more attention grabbing because it's like, oh, this is new. What was done to it? What makes this different? What makes this cool? And for lack of better phrasing, it's riding a hype train, right?
Yeah.
Especially like when a manufacturer releases something new, they're going to try to market it to every retailer out there, to every player out there, and
cast as wide a net as they possibly can.
Exactly. So you do get a little bit of that hype starting off, but I mean, pros and cons. Like a lot of the time, you do find something that is really cool and unique that you become invested into. Sometimes it's like, hey, here's another M4.
Great. Awesome, dude. Cool.
And I'm not trying to throw shade at any of the
But
companies.
it does feel like that, though.
Yeah.
Now, we won't spend too much time on this last response to it, but Geo de Pleb has said, lower prices. I mean, yeah, he's not wrong.
I mean, is that really innovative, though?
I mean, a GBB, we're taking this example, a GBB that's like under $200, it's super easy to upgrade, super easy to find parts for, and actually performs decent. Not great, decent out the box.
Sounds like a unicorn.
That's right? That's in it. I would consider that innovation.
Oh, absolutely. If we can get to that level, 100% I'm all about it.
I guess just more context required for this, right? Like, obviously lower price in regards to what? Because AEGs, like I said, the AEGs that we're getting now that are at the affordable price point, I would have killed for an AEG like that when I first started. You kidding me?
Oh, absolutely. Even like we continue to reference like guns like the Lancer Tactical Gen 2 because it comes with a lot of things that we didn't get to experience.
The Gen 2, the Gen 3, the Classic Army ECS models, their skirmishes, like, you know? All right, but moving on to the next question. This one's going to be interesting. This is shifting attention a little bit now. Instead of it being very product or innovation heavy, it's how can airsoft businesses better support the community? This one, out of all the questions that I saw, I believe this one had the most amount of people like giving their responses to. And I picked the best 3 that I could come up with for this one. First one, this one comes from Brian's Bad in Insta. Brian's Bad at Insta. I could not read that for the life of me. I thought he was a dyslexic. It might be me. By listening to feedback with humility, being told that something is bad is not an insult. It's vitally important criticism and should be viewed as an opportunity to improve. I don't argue with anything on this at all. I think that's 100% valid. I think there are many things that every airsoft retailer, every airsoft is, us included, like we could name several things on our own end, right, that we can improve ourselves as employees, as representatives of the airsoft community that we could always improve. And I think getting criticism isn't a bad thing inherently at all, right?
No, of course not. I would say this is something where we need to put personal feelings aside and just look at it from a business perspective, right? When I think I can say this confidently because we have, as Airsoft GI, we have created our own airsoft gun with the MGC4.
Yeah.
And the R&D through it, if you guys want to backtrack it, or if you were a part of the legacy that we created.
Our Discord users, our YouTube live stream viewers, everyone that was like involved in the Airsoft Mayo Game community had a hand in designing that gun.
Yeah, absolutely. We went through so many different iterations between the rail, between internal specs, what we wanted. And when we released it, we're like, okay, cool. This is gonna hit the market. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be dope. And then it arrived. It started getting shipped out. We started getting reviews about it. And then one of the biggest things with the MGC4 Mark 1 version 1 was that they wanted a faster rate of fire.
Yeah.
And during the conversation of R&D and going up into building the gun, we were all like, hey, most fields don't even
allow full auto.
Exactly. So let's just go for trigger spots, which is why we went with the 20K motor originally. But we heard that feedback. We're like, okay, cool. It's lacking in rate of fire, even with the level 1. We respect that. Let's update it. So
we even asked prior to, if you remember, where we're like, are you guys sure? Because it will raise up the price point. We were trying to be as transparent as we possibly could during the entire process for every iteration of the MGC4. But in regards to the Mark 1, when it came to the motor, you guys were like, that's fine. I'll pay extra if it means you can shoot faster.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so that's something that we worked with the Lance Tactical Factory with, and just took the criticism and really utilized it. And that's something that I do personally with any feedback or reviews that we see from YouTube comments or messages or whatever about a specific product from a specific company. I'll send that feedback over to that company and be like, hey, yo, I've been hearing this. This is a complaint. This is something that you guys should look into. They maybe improve whatever you guys can do, and so be it. And most of the company, they are accepting to it, but how many of them actually make the updates and changes?
Follow through with it. Now here's the other thing I will say, just not really to disagree, but more so to just play devil's advocate. The one thing I do notice, and I mention this because we have to go through YouTube comments, we have to go through reviews and everything. Some of the comments, if you are going to leave criticism, by all means, do it. But make sure it's well constructed and fair. Don't blame us if you ordered the day before and you had an event that same day and you wanted to go and get the gun immediately.
Oh, okay, that's...
You know what I mean? You'd be surprised how much of that exists. Or, this gun's bad. Have you owned it? No.
Yeah, if you have criticism in there, you can formulate it very well. So it's not an insulting type of comment, but it's criticism. It's criticizing.
I don't even mind like the insult one because I know there's going to be trolls no matter what you do.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just more like, okay, if you have a valid criticism, make it a valid criticism and not just like, okay, I'm just going to troll on you. Because we can't learn anything from that. If you really want something to improve, tell us how we can improve it and if anything, offer solutions as well. And we could follow through with that. Yeah. But just saying, this is bad, okay, cool.
Well, I mean, on the other side, if someone doesn't know how they could come up with a solution to a problem or doesn't have an answer to it, just bring the problem to light.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, I found this is a problem.
I've noticed that you countered this when this happens. This happens when you do this.
Yeah.
Maybe suggest improve. Like that, something like that, But moving on to the next response, and I like this one a lot. This one comes from Scruffy Nerf Herder 7. I like the Star Wars reference. I think airsoft businesses need to be more...
Is Scruffy or is Nerf Herder the...
Both.
Both are the Star Wars reference.
Yeah. It was an insult that Princess Leia told Han. He's like, you scruffy Nerf Herder. And he's like, who's scruffy looking? Right?
Sorry, I'm uneducated.
I think airsoft businesses need to be more involved in events and milsims by being present and seeing what their products and brands can do on the field, using their own brands on the field. I know I would like to see representatives of companies on the field shooting with them, and then he goes on, it was one of those paragraph ones, but I shrunk down the most important part. But yes, I would 100% agree. That's actually, Scruffy Nerf Herder, that's actually one of the biggest reasons that I've been trying to make more or greater of an effort to make sure that I go out playing airsoft at bare minimum once a month this year, and I'm trying to be more consistent and organize trips with members of the community. I'm always posting in our Discord server. I'm always posting on my personal IG. I'm literally mentioning it on our live streams as well, that, hey, if anyone wants to come through and play with me, by all means, feel free to go in and pull through. It's open invite. We can all hang out, shoot the shit after as well, get something to eat, right? I actually like hanging out with the community because I like seeing what these guys are into. I like seeing how they're playing. I like seeing the loadouts that they're coming out with. It's overall a good time for myself, but it does offer business advantages as well.
Oh, absolutely. From a business side, I have two notes. For a retail store to try and come out to an event, I could see that being very difficult for them. Depending on where they're located.
Yeah.
Depending on their
I guess we're just spoiled because we're in SoCal, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
in Southern California, we are very spoiled for fields and location and stuff. But depending on where you're located and depending on the staff that they have available, they may not be able to attend events like that, which is unfortunate. Of course, like we would love to see like retailers and companies come out like that, but on the smaller sense, being a retailer, most retail stores aren't that large. They don't have a huge budget to invest into going to an event like that.
Like a travel team, right? Just to go out. Their whole job is to go out and like collect data, collect information.
Exactly. And it's not brand recognition is one thing.
Yeah.
But logistically, like if they want to attend an event, they're probably gonna have to set up like a tent or a booth. They're gonna need to bring all the supplies to set up that tent or booth, all the product that's gonna be required, the labor hours that's going to take, and if the event, depending on their regulations on having like businesses come out, can vary as well. So that's one side. For a manufacturer side, I do agree that brands should go out to events to rep their product and just be a part of the airsoft community as a whole. But same thing, what you see as a big company maybe isn't. Like there a lot of airsoft manufacturers, at least the distribution or the company set up in the United States that I can speak of. I'm not gonna say any names, but they're running on very minimal crew, and they're doing their best. And they do try to attend events. They do try to be a part of the community, online and offline. And it just, again, logistics as well. Like sometimes the brand could just not be able to attend a specific event because of their schedule. They could have already had booked something, or maybe their monthly budget or whatever is preventing them from going to that because they put more into something else.
There is a lot of that goes on behind the scenes in terms of event planning as well, or event attending. We've done both, and it's it's a logistical nightmare sometimes, as I have found
sometimes, all the time. Trying to, if you have ever coordinated an event, you know how difficult it is to coordinate a goddamn event. Okay, it is rough, and I respect you guys that do it full time.
So if you ever see any, whether it be like any reps from your favorite airsoft brands, companies, retailers, if they show up to an event, know that it took a lot of work to get there.
Yeah, it took leaps and bounds for them to attend. So shout out to every rep that's able to go out to the field.
The next one this comes from F86 Custom, more or less kind of the same, so we can quickly go over it. Sponsoring the community, being there at events, and talking to customers. If you are just namelessly selling items from behind a website, you are not helping the community. Yes, I would agree. Granted, there are some places that can only do online businesses only just because brick and mortar does cost money.
Yep.
Brick and mortar is an expense that, yes, can be very helpful, but also is another expense, and we can't really tell other businesses how to run their business.
Yeah.
But I do agree that having at least some interaction with your customer base is important, because otherwise you're not going to know yes, you could look at a spreadsheet, what's selling, what's not selling, right? But now you don't know reasons why.
Yeah.
You can always, as opposed to just, hey, why isn't this moving? Or like, hey, why don't you like this particular gun instead of this one? The customers will tell you. I can strike a conversation with any of my walk-in customers, and they'll let me know, yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of this, right? I can do my own surveys just from the people that come and shop, right?
Yeah.
That's vital information. So I would agree to that, but again, there is some reasons as to why maybe some retailers wouldn't really have a brick and mortar shop or several locations, because money, right? It just costs. Moving on to the last question. Now, interestingly enough, I'm going to call the community out a little bit here. This was the least responded to question out of the ones that I found. And this I found it pretty interesting. How can players contribute to the growth of airsoft in their local communities? What's the matter, guys? What's the matter?
Oh, you got a lot of shit to talk when it comes to the...
But what's going on, man? When face the mirror, right? And that glass house looking real pretty from here.
The man in the mirror, Michael Jackson, shut up.
The mirror. Ow!
Okay, let's hear some of the responses.
From Bondo Defan says, encouraging new players and setting a culture of hard work. Volunteering to help while also a strict schedule for practice on the tournament side, he says specifically.
Oh, okay.
So he's speaking more from like I guess someone who's on the very much that competitive side of airsoft, but I do get what he's saying. Obviously, he wants to make sure that we're all like in the competitive side anyway, that we're all focusing on practicing our own skills, sharpening our own abilities, but also allowing for newer players to get into it and to not be discouraged. Because that actually is one big thing that I do hear is a little bit problematic. Not I don't want to say problematic, or maybe a challenge for maybe the competitive side is being able to get newer people really involved. Right? They're very much intimidated by the level of play that they see, so they don't want to really partake in it. They don't want to do it, and they end up just quitting. So being able to have a culture that's welcoming to newer players, get them more involved, and then also still being able to focus on improving yourself. I get what he's going for. I respect the grind, dude.
No, absolutely. And what he says, being encouraging to new players, I think that's the biggest thing. When I started my airsoft journey, there was a lot of the toxic elitism.
Yeah, that still exists, unfortunately. Not as much.
I
will say, it's gone down a lot recently. It's
still
there.
Yeah.
It's still there.
It's still there, but it has gone down a lot. That's something that really kept me in my own world of airsoft, I should say. Like, whenever I go out to a field, this is before there were a lot of dedicated airsoft fields in Southern California. When I started, if you wanted to play at SC Village, you were playing on the paintball fields. They didn't have Viper set up yet. Yeah. I was there at the grand opening of Viper. Encountering that type of mindset as someone who's just starting out is really like, oh wow, that's discerning, or maybe that's not the right word, but it
discouraging.
It feels really bad, right? It's like, oh man, your gun is shit, whatever. It's like, wow,
your gun's crap, your gear's crap. I
mean,
you're crap.
To be fair, at the time my gun was shit.
But yeah, but they don't gotta say it.
Yeah, they don't gotta say it. They just like, hey, you gotta work with what you got.
You see someone driving a beater car, you're not gonna be like, man, you'll call a piece of, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna say that. He's already feeling bad.
Yeah, so that definitely is one of the things that can really hinder the community. Like, as a player, you should understand that even though airsoft has a large audience and a large player base, it's still very small compared to other hobbies. Yeah. We are very limited, especially when it comes to a business side and marketing. We get lumped in with real firearms in the United States, and
for better for worse.
Yeah, for better for worse. And our potential reach to an audience that has never been exposed to airsoft is little to none. And we are constantly fighting this battle of how can we get more players, or how can we get more people to learn about airsoft, to be introduced to it, to become a player, to be a part of the community. And it really shoots ourselves in the foot when we're talking shit about someone who just got their new airsoft gun, and is on their first day of play, maybe their second time, whatever. They're in their infancy of introduction in the hobby, into airsoft, and it really does fuck it up for us.
Yeah.
So being encouraging to new players is the best thing that you can do. Whenever I go out to the field, I've talked about it before, of just like if a kid is really timid or they're kind of scared, be like, hey man, what's going on?
Listen, need help with this? Let's push up this objective.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's make it work. And I've done that so many times where it's like I've been able to win a game because I was able to coordinate with a group of newer players, and they just needed a little bit of guidance, a little bit of encouragement.
A little push.
And on the other side, there have been times where like I try to help out some kids and they're just like kind of like stuck because they're
like they're shell shocked or something.
Yeah, like they're just too afraid. But just try and be as encouraging as possible so they can enjoy the experience and continue their airsoft career. I won't say career, but
yeah, that's a good phrase for it.
Yeah, continue the airsoft career and try to get some more of their friends into airsoft, because the more players that we have, the better it is for everything. Events, manufacturers, fields, everyone benefits from there being more players.
This next one...
More targets.
There you go. Wow! I agreed with that first part too. It took me a while to catch that. Jesus. So this next one, you kind of answered it partially as well, but he does offer a few more points to it as well. Take One Airsoft says a few things. Firstly, fields live off admission. Bring your friends. Get people into the sport. Second, buy local. Third, help new players and welcome rentals into the community. Fourth, give your field feedback/opinions. Fields can't make changes if they don't know what you're looking for. My man, okay, first of all,
Take one Airsoft shout out.
Yeah. The fact that he said again, like yes, fields run off admission.
Yeah.
You need to be able to get more people involved. If you're going out to play, be that annoying guy. There's always that one guy, right? That's like, hey, you want to play? You want to play? You know, it's a little bit overly eager. I don't mind that because, again, at least I'm being invited. He's thinking of me. Be that guy that's like super eager and inviting everyone at work. Invite all your coworkers. Invite all your friends. Every time you go out to play, just do it. You never know. Sometimes you might wear them down and they can come out and play with you. You know?
No, I completely understand it. The way that my mind thought of it is, do I have enough guns for this many people? That's the way my mind thought. But remember,
they can do rentals.
That's just what I was about to say. Fields offer rentals too for anyone
Exactly.
who has never played and wants to try it out. They can rent airsoft guns, and there are a good amount of fields who are adopting a quote unquote premium rental.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like an upgraded gun, or it might have a tracing unit or something.
Like U.S. Airsoft World would have like the premium mask. It's a dye mask.
Yeah, honestly, that as a rental was kind of dope.
That's fucking sick.
Not even kind of. That was pretty dope. So, yeah, taking as many people out as possible, definitely. Especially if you are located in an area that isn't spoiled, like Southern California, right? If you are in Central America or the East Coast and the nearest field may be an hour or so away, make it an event.
Yeah.
Make it.
Bring the boys out.
Yeah, make it a trip. Have a blast. Get your day's worth of airsoft. Have an experience, and I think that will really help your local community. Like I can't think of a random. Actually, I can't think of a random field. VIP Airsoft in Gilbert, or no, the one in, well, they have Gilbert and Phoenix. But Boaz and I went to the one in Phoenix back in 2021. I forget, during our road trip. And it was actually crazy because I think we went on a Thursday night, and there was a decent amount of players that came out. I think there was like 20 to 30 players that we got to just shoot the shit with and play. Well, Boaz got to play. I wasn't able to play.
Nah.
I am very sad about that, but I'm glad Boaz had a great time. But being able to talk with the community there and learn the different play styles and really just getting to know people really opened my eyes for what I could see in that local area. Now, for instance, when we went to U.S. Airsoft World, Northern California, that was about 8-10 hours away.
Yeah, it was a drive.
Yeah, even though we're both in California, it's a world away.
California, you forget, California's a big state.
Yeah, California is huge, and the community that was up there was really interesting as well.
Very different from what we're used to, but they were like super welcoming,
Yeah.
super friendly, very laid back, and everyone was such a blast to hang out with and talk to.
Mhm.
It was just honestly, probably one of the best like airsoft memories like I ever freaking had. But I also like what he talked about as well when he said buy local. Now this one's kind of tricky because we are a retailer.
Yeah.
You know, Taylor's being there. But here's the thing: even though we have other competitors out there, we still encourage people to support their local airsoft businesses all the time. Like, we don't want local airsoft businesses to go out of business. That's terrible. Are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
why would we want that? We want we want airsoft as a whole to bloom. We want airsoft as a whole to get bigger, to become more popular, and essentially become mainstream in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
And the last thing we need right now is for more businesses to go out, because if an airsoft business goes out, that means, okay, there's probably no field in that area. If there's no field in that area, there's nowhere to play. There's nowhere to play, there's way less likelihood of airsoft being able to grow at any substantial point in that area. So airsoft is just dead in this one region. You know?
Yeah.
That's the last thing we want.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a catch-22, like Isaiah said, because us as Airsoft GI, we want to sell, we want to earn your business, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you should try to do what you can to help your community out, right? And it does come down to the store itself, what they have available, what their prices are. Obviously, they have an overhead to meet. They have staff to pay, and they bills, lights to keep on and stuff. So even though Airsoft GI has a larger name, we're still relatively a smaller company.
We've always been a fairly small company. Even though we
Yeah.
had our name out there, it's always been a literal mom and pop shop.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And like with what Isaiah said, we don't want to see any of those stores die. If anything, like, we would want them to thrive, so maybe we could collaborate when we go into that area, right? Like, if
your local airsoft store, like, alongside Airsoft GI sponsoring this event,
Yeah.
that's the dream.
yeah, hell yeah, we would love to do that. Unfortunately, just with a lot of the things that are going on, especially over just 2025 alone, it really does hinder a good amount of things. So whatever you can whatever you can do to support your local shop or your local field, do it. If you're at a field and there's someone having trouble, be like, hey, go check out so and so shop. They might have the
parts you need to repair it, or they might have a better gun, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then the last part of it was give your field feedback opinions. I'll extend that to fields and also stores. Remember, communication's key. Like we were talking about earlier with proper criticisms. No one's gonna know how to improve if they're not giving them proper criticism and feedback.
Yep.
That goes for fields and also retail stores.
Yeah, absolutely. One field out here that really listens to the community and the layout, or how they lay out their field, is Project M1.
Yeah.
I got to give them credit because the way that they designed the field originally was so it could be modular.
Yeah.
So they could change it up every so often so it doesn't get boring, it doesn't get stale, and they can keep things fresh. Other outdoor fields, specifically like SC Village, where they have massive containers like set into place, it's a lot more difficult for them to rearrange.
I don't blame them for not being able to change it. It's tough. You need a crew for that.
Yeah, but when it comes to fields like that, introduce new gameplay.
New game rules, new game modes.
Yeah, different styles. Or maybe make platform exclusive like events or something, like gas blowback only. Or if you want to do all HPA, go for it. I don't know what that's going to benefit.
I for one love it when they're actually able to introduce more like props for play itself, whether it be some type of like bomb, flags of some kind, so you can capture points. Like I always thought that just adds so much more depth to your level of play as opposed to just all right, force on force, 5 minutes, have at it, right?
Yeah.
I want objectives in my game mode.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, the other side, there are only players that want to play team deathmatch, which there's nothing wrong with it. But boy, learn to grow.
Work with other people, for Christ's sake. This isn't a COD lobby.
Yeah, honestly, playing objectives is one of my favorite ways to play Airsoft. If there's something to do other than
get kills
or getting shot, I mean, obviously that's what we're there to do.
That's what we're there to do, right? You can make that argument,
but you make it more entertaining by introducing different objectives. So Take One, man, came out with a lot of
heavy
good bullet points. Like, shout out to them for real, because all of them were very valid. But guys, let us know your answers to all these questions in the comments below.
Whether they be different, whether you agree with us, we're very curious to hear what you guys have to say in response to all this. And again, like we said at the beginning of this video, make sure that you're following RGK as well. That boy is putting in the work to make sure that the Airsoft community stays informed as to what events are going on and also what the state of Airsoft really looks like.
Absolutely. He is doing the Airsoft Lord's work, just trying to ground us all, which is super dope. But yeah, let us know what you think about the questions. Are there any concerns or complaints that you guys have? Tell us in the comments as well. Again, we are open to hearing it and trying to make the adjustments and the corrections accordingly to create a better Airsoft world, a better Airsoft experience for you.
And if you want to better your Airsoft experience, you want to also support the channel directly. Make sure to go and get all your Airsoft goodies from airsoftgi.com. Make sure you hit that bell icon, you're subscribed, so you're notified every time we drop new content like this on the channel. But alright guys, that's going to be it for us. My name is Isaiah.
My name is Cisco.
We'll see you on the next one, guys.
Later, y'all.